Stop, don't judge me. Hello everyone, welcome to my very first YouTube video on my new YouTube channel. If you're following me because you followed me from my Instagram or TikTok, welcome. And if you're new here, also welcome. A quick little intro about myself. I am 25 years old. I am a stay-at-home boy mom to my very first 10-week-old baby. I am married and my husband works full-time so that me and my son can stay home. I took a poll over on my Instagram story and asked y'all what you wanted my first video to be about, and everyone voted to do my birth story. So I thought I'd do a little bit of makeup, get ready with me while I talk about my C-section birth story. So my son was born October 24th at 1:47 p.m. on a Friday. I had to double check my math there. I always knew that he was going to be a C-section because around 34 weeks he flipped and was breech, and he never flipped back. So we had every intention of doing a C-section. Originally, my C-section was scheduled for November 2nd, and my son decided he did not want to wait, and I woke up Thursday night in the middle of the night, or I guess it was technically Friday in the middle. I ended up going into the hospital Friday morning because that previous night I had really weird contraction-like feelings and I just felt different. So I was like, all right, let's just go in and get checked. Who knows what he's doing in there? My sister ended up actually having to drop me off at the hospital because my husband had to run into work really quickly, so he met me there. They decided to monitor me for a few hours. I was literally like 1 centimeter dilated, so I was not in labor. It had gotten to the point where it'd been a few hours and I did not progress whatsoever, so they were about to send me home and just have me come back November 2nd for my scheduled C-section, and then all of a sudden my son's heart rate decided to drop a little bit on the monitor, and that was enough for them to decide they just wanted to do the C-section that day. As soon as they told us that they wanted to do the C-section that day, everything happened within like 2 hours, and I was on the table and they were taking him out, which is crazy to me. I would say that I had a very easy, pleasant C-section experience. I think the scariest part, to be honest, is just walking in by yourself without your partner into the OR room and sitting yourself up on that table and being comforted by strangers. All the nurses there were literally so amazing, but I think that was the scariest part for me, honestly, because I had to get that spinal tap all by myself, and I lay down on the table all by myself. And then my husband didn't actually come in until they had already started cutting me open. So I was so relieved when I finally saw his face. I think the process of actually opening me up to getting the baby out to sewing me back up didn't take very long at all. I honestly don't even know how long it took, but it felt like super fast. I really didn't have any complications whatsoever. In the beginning of my C-section, I felt a little bit nauseous, but the anesthesiologist quickly pumped me with nausea meds and I felt fine. And there really wasn't any serious complications with the baby coming out. They did have to, because he was breech, kind of tug on him because my uterus was contracting over his head. So it took an extra minute to get him out. And then once they cleaned him up, we heard that cry and knew he was good. As for my recovery, like I said, I think it was generally so pleasant and easy. Number one thing I can recommend is as soon as I felt my feet and legs, I was up and walking. That's what the nurses recommended as soon as I was able to. So later that night, I think it was almost like the middle of the night, I started walking. I also really recommend keeping up with your medications. All I took was ibuprofen and Tylenol, but I took that around the clock. And I think that also helped with not feeling any pain because I genuinely didn't really feel any pain ever. Also, as soon as I took that first shower, I put on a belly band. My hospital did give me one, and that kept everything nice and tight, and I feel like it just made me feel a little bit more secure. I would say my recovery was so good because at the point of day 2, as soon as they said I was able to go home, I did go home. And if you know me, you know that that probably was a mistake simply because later on that week, I ended up being back in the hospital because of postpartum preeclampsia, but that's a story for another time. Overall, my birth was very, very pleasant. The actual surgery itself, I didn't find to be uncomfortable. I didn't find it to be painful. I felt like it was a very quick surgery, so everything just kind of went by really fast and it was kind of a blur. I still got to do skin to skin. I still got to do those special photos that I wanted. My husband was with the baby first, but then as soon as he was ready, they did skin to skin in the OR while I was being stitched up. So honestly, I truly think it went as well as it could have. And now that I'm a little over 10 weeks postpartum, my scar healed up so well. It's doing really well. My son is doing really well. I feel great. So if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. But that's kind of a longer story put into a shorter video because I know y'all don't want to watch this video forever. So thank you for watching my very first YouTube video. Make sure to click the subscribe button. And if you're not following me over on my TikTok and Instagram, my handle is callhercat. And stay tuned for the next video where I'm gonna do a question answer of questions y'all ask over on my Instagram story. Okay, bye.